Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's kind of wild out there in AI land lately, right? I mean, every time I open my news feed, it's like, bam! OpenAI's got its own super chips now. Bam!
Yeah.
Robots are learning to fold laundry. Heck, even Alexa got a serious brain boost this week.
It's a lot to keep up with, that's for sure.
Really is, and that's exactly why we're here. Today's deep dive is all about cutting through the hype. Let's be honest. You don't need to be a tech whiz to make AI work for you.
You got it. And in fact, one of the things that really stood out to me from those ZAKA AI materials we've got is their big emphasis on practical skills, not just the theory. It's about giving you the tools to use AI in your life and work today.
Okay, so less about understanding every single algorithm and more about, knowing how to actually use these tools.
Exactly. Think of it like driving a car, right? You don't need to be a mechanic to get from point A to point B.
I love that analogy. And speaking of practical applications, newsletter issue number 10 highlights some pretty incredible AI-powered math tools. We're talking Wolfram Alpha, Julius AI, there's Socratic.
Oh, and don't forget about photomath.
Right, you can literally just snap a photo of a problem and boom, solution.
And here's what's really cool. They don't just spit out the answer. They actually break the problem down, step by step. It helps you understand the why behind the solution, not just the what.
So no more struggling through your kids' math homework.
Well, in theory at least. But really, think about it. It's like having a personal tutor available 24/7, right in your pocket. Whether you're a student or a parent or even just someone who, wants to brush up on their math skills, these tools are out there right now.
It's amazing how accessible this stuff is becoming.
It really is.
Okay, let's switch gears for a sec. Something else caught my eye in the newsletter this week, robots. They were talking about this Neo Beta, which is a humanoid robot, and get this, it's designed for household chores.
Now that's what I call progress.
Right. So tell me more about this Neo Beta. What makes it so special?
Well, the big deal about Neo Beta is that it's a prime example of something we call embodied AI.
Embodied AI.
Yeah. It means that it doesn't just process language or crunch data. This thing actually interacts with the physical world.
So we're talking actually doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Folding laundry.
Exactly. Imagine coming home from a long day and any beta's already finished the laundry and tidied up the living room.
I'll admit, part of me is thinking, sign me up. But the other part of me is a little bit, yeah.
A little creeped out.
Maybe just a tad. But seriously, is it ethical? Should we even be going down this road of robots doing everything for us?
It's a valid concern, for sure. And, it's something we need to be thinking about as this tech keeps developing. But we also can't ignore the potential benefits.
Like what?
Well, think about elder care or assisting people with disabilities. There's a lot of good that can come from this technology, too.
Okay, so it's not all doom and gloom robot overlords.
Not quite.
That's reassuring. But in all seriousness, it sounds like we're talking about a pretty massive shift in, how we live and work. And that brings us back to the importance of education, right?
100%.
And I noticed ZAKA AI, they even have a whole section on their website about robotics, machine learning.
It's not just science fiction anymore.
Exactly. These are real in-demand skills.
It's about giving people the knowledge and the tools to help shape the future of this technology, not just be passive bystanders.
Speaking of making our lives easier, have you noticed how much smarter voice assistants are getting these days?
It's incredible, isn't it?
Like this week's newsletter, it was talking about the new Alexa, right? Now powered by Claude AI.
Yeah, Claude AI. It's pretty impressive.
But it's not just an Amazon thing, right? It seems like all the voice assistants are getting these major upgrades.
You're absolutely right. We're seeing massive leaps in natural language processing.
Explain me again what that is exactly.
Oh, it's basically how AI understands and responds to us when we speak or type. Like when you talk to Alexa or Siri, that's natural language processing in action, and it's getting so much better. It means our devices can finally understand us in a way that feels more natural, less like we're, talking to a computer.
So you're saying no more repeating myself endlessly just to get Alexa to set a simple timer.
Exactly. And it goes way beyond that. Think about it. You could potentially manage your entire business using just your voice.
Whoa, really? How so?
Scheduling meetings, responding to emails, even analyzing sales data, all with voice commands.
Wow, I hadn't even considered that. That's incredible. But is that kind of advanced AI technology only accessible to giant companies like Amazon? I mean,
Yeah.
The average person can't exactly build that, right?
That's a really good question. And the answer might surprise you. Remember that little blurb at the end of the newsletter? The one about building a customer service voice bot in 5 minutes?
Vaguely.
Well, they were talking about this platform called Convoice AI, and it's a great example of how accessible this tech is becoming.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me, like, I could build my own custom voice bot, even if I don't know anything about coding?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Get out of here.
No, seriously, that's the really exciting part. You don't need to be some kind of tech genius to harness the power of AI. Platforms like this Convoice thing, they're designed to be user-friendly, empowering anyone to create their own voice-activated tools.
Okay, that's pretty
That's
mind-blowing. So what are people even using these custom voice bots for?
Oh man, all sorts of things. Imagine like a voice bot that walks customers through a complex process on your website, or one that personalizes learning for students based on their specific needs. And that's just scratching the surface. We're really just getting started with what's possible.
Which is incredible. It's also, like, kind of scary.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone can just create a voice bot now, what's going to happen to all the jobs in the future?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something that ZAKA AI actually addresses. They're big on practical skills, obviously, but they also offer career support, which I think is really smart
Yeah.
because it's not enough to just like understand AI anymore. We have to equip people with the skills to actually thrive in this new world.
So learning about AI, it's not just about, like, feeding our curiosity. It's about future-proofing ourselves.
100%. It's about recognizing that the jobs of tomorrow, they might not even exist today.
Hmm.
And that's a little scary, sure, but it's also a huge opportunity.
I've never thought about it like that. It's like a chance to completely reinvent yourself, explore new possibilities.
Exactly. Maybe even discover a passion for something you never even considered before. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. Like, here we are standing on the edge of this whole new world. Exciting, absolutely. But honestly, a little intimidating, too.
No doubt about it. One of the things that really hit home for me as I was going through all this material is just how fast things are moving in the field of AI. We aren't just talking about small incremental changes here. These are massive breakthroughs happening at an unprecedented pace. I mean, what seemed impossible a year ago is practically old news today.
It's like
Right.
that saying, right? The future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet.
Exactly. And with all this AI tech becoming more accessible every day, it's like that distribution is rapidly changing right before our eyes.
Which is why it's more important than ever to be informed and engaged.
Absolutely. This isn't just about understanding the tech itself, it's about being a part of the conversation, shaping how it's used, and making sure it benefits everyone.
Well said. So as we wrap things up here, what's the one key takeaway you hope our listeners walk away with today?
That AI isn't some far-off futuristic fantasy. It's here, it's now, and it's transforming our world. But here's the really exciting part. You can be a part of it, no matter who you are or what your background is.
Whether it's using AI to boost your productivity, explore a new creative outlet, or even, like, launch a whole new career path.
The possibilities really are limitless.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is. And it's funny because the rate of advancement is so fast, it makes you wonder, what incredible breakthroughs are just around the corner? What's next? It's an amazing time to be paying attention.
That it is. And for those of you who are ready to dive in and explore further, we've got you covered. We'll be sure to include links to all the tools and resources we talked about in our show notes.
So be sure to check those out.
And until next time, keep those minds curious. We'll see you on our next deep dive.